Hello class, my name is Josh Rubin, and I am going to be talking about the articles that I read for this week's topics, interviews and applications. Now, for many of you have before, you've all been on interviews, you've all filled out applications, at least I hope so. There are many pros and cons with job interviews and applications. I'm going to talk about interviews first. Now, pros for a job interview. If you like the person you are, it's gonna come off that way during your job interview. You want to have confidence in a job interview. Confidence is key. You wanna you want to be confident in yourself. You want to be confident in your abilities. You want to be confident in them that they will have confidence in you. So you want to get there. You want to look nice always. You don't want to come there dressed up like you would when you work in the kitchen in maybe jeans and a t-shirt and a backwards hat. That's a bad thing. You want to look presentable. Don't overdo it. Don't wear a suit. But look presentable, look nice, be clean shaven, and really speak not necessarily from your heart, but from yourself, from your head. Just think before you speak. Really, you don't want to say anything bad. You don't want to curse, but you also don't want to talk too much. But you want to be prepared. That's, I think, my main point about going to job interviews. You wanna be prepared when you go to a job interview. You want to do research. You want to have questions to ask them. You just want it to seem like you took time to really think this out, because when you come prepared, it shows that you care. If you don't come prepared, they're going to think that you don't care, and they're going to think of you that's the type of employee you are. Now, I've interviewed for many jobs, restaurants, not restaurants, companies, and the main thing that I try to do before every job interview is research, research, research. I look up the company, the restaurant, I look at their menu, look at their mission statement, I look at their about. I just read as much as I can, because the more knowledge you have, the less that comes as a surprise to you. And when you sit during the interview and go, like, oh, this is basic stuff, you should have known that if you looked at our website. So that's one thing. The other thing is I always look nice. I don't dress in a suit. I just look very professional. If you look professional, you act professional, most likely you're going to be professional, and that's the type of person they're looking for. The next thing, which I think I stated that is key before, confidence. You have confidence in yourself, you have confidence in your abilities, an employer will have confidence in you. You don't want to sit back, stutter, think about what you're going to say. You want to know. You want to know everything you've done and everything you do and everything you can do, because employers, they really like that and they look for that. So the article that I read about interviews are 10 tips and advice for a restaurant job interview. So I talked about most of them in my paper, but I'm just going to run down the line of the top 10 and give a brief explanation. So for the first, it is dress for success, dress like a professional. I just recently touched on this, but I'll touch on it again. Just, you want to go in there looking sharp. You don't want to look like a bum or look like you just woke up, because it translates negatively on your appearance. You want to look like you care about yourself and your appearance. Number two, if you're serious about getting a job, before interviewing with any restaurant company, do your research. Stated that also. Research, very big thing. You want to know as much as you can, little a surprise to you. Number three, this I think is a big one. It's never happened to me personally, but it definitely has happened out there. Turn off your cell phone. The last thing you want to happen during a job interview, you may have them right there, They may be eating up everything you say to them, and your cell phone goes off. And that could just ruin everything. That's another thing with being prepared. Turn your cell phone off or turn it on vibrate. It's just a bad thing if it goes off. It shows that you may not care. And although it is understandable, people do make calls. They make a call, they don't want to hear about it. Number 4, job interviews are your opportunity to sell your talents and skills. Well, you're most likely going to stage for restaurants if that is what you are seeking employment for, but the stage comes after the interview. So the interview is really your first chance to sell yourself, sell your skills, talk about what you've done in the past, talk about your strengths, talk about your weaknesses. I mean, not everyone's perfect. Everyone does have weaknesses, and they want to hear that so they know where to place you, where not to place you, when to schedule you, when not to schedule you. If you've never worked on a line before, they're probably not going to put you on the line on a Friday and Saturday night. They may put you on a line Tuesday, Wednesday night to kind of get your feet wet and give you some experience. But talk about your skills, it's a big thing. Number 5, be personable as well as professional at all times. This is a big thing. You want to really show them what kind of attitude you have. You want to show what kind of person you are and what you stand for. Because yeah, right now they're just at a job interview with you, and it's probably gonna be over in 10 minutes. They're not gonna have to see you until maybe they hire you. But when they hire you, they're probably going to have to be around you every day, hours at a time. So they're going to want to make sure that your attitude fits the other employees they have, fits what they're looking for, and fits their restaurant. And you also want to be professional at all times. You don't want to be there swearing or using slang or talking with bad grammar. You want to speak like you're educated. You go to college, you're educated, speak like it. Number 6, listen more, talk less. This is a big one. People tend to get very nervous when they go to job interviews, and some people when they're nervous, they like to talk a lot, and that's okay. But you don't want to talk too much. You want to let the employer do most of the talking. You want to answer your questions. Don't answer them short, but give a educational response. Give them a truthful response, and have them move on to the next question, because the more talking you do, the longer the interview is going to take, and the more you're going to be nervous. So listen more, talk less. It's a big one. Number 7, I've stated this one again, so I'll just read through it. Come prepared for your job interview. Pretty self-explanatory. Come prepared. Number 8, dot your I's, cross your T's. That is mostly for applications. Now, you may give them a resume, but they'll probably have you fill out an application, which I'll talk about in a little bit, mostly for legal issues, but dot your I's, cross your T's, make your handwriting legible. Number 9, be aware of body languages, vibes, and reactions. It is perfectly okay to express what you are trying to say with your hands. You just don't want to go overboard with it, and you don't want to be giving off the wrong vibes like you're a crazy person. You don't want to have the body language of Cosmo Kramer from Seinfeld, if any of you watched that. But give off the right vibes. Have them have a positive reaction of you. You want to be personal. You want to be smiling. You just want to be positive. The more positive you are, the more highly they'll think of you. And number 10, though it may not always be apparent, most restaurant management job interview questions are usually asked for specific reasons. So past week, one of our discussion board questions was, what was the most random question you've been asked at an interview? And that's a perfectly good question, because every question I'm sure they ask has a purpose. You may not know it, but they do, and they want to see your reaction. So that was just on job interviews. Now for the applications. Mainly why you fill out an application, even if you gave a resume, it is for legal issues. They want to see if you had any felonies, criminal injustices, and because that doesn't come up on a resume, and they wanna make sure everything matches, because the article that I read for the job interviews, it's about how people lie during a job interview, and you lie, you'll probably get fired, and even if you get fired and you want to sue, well, that's not really going to help out because they have proof that you lied. It's something called after acquired evidence. After acquired evidence is evidence that they acquired after they hired you. Well, they found out that you lied about working on a line for Alinea for 2 years, so you're probably going to get fired. So I'll talk more about the application interview in my paper. Kind of gone on over 7 minutes, but that's all right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and thank you very much.